Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions, and I'm at Rick Mancuso's today in Lake Forest, Illinois, at his phenomenal Ferrari showroom. But we're here today to talk about an auction we've got coming up July 19th. Rick, first, thank you for having us in this fabulous location. We're standing in front of your, is it a 71?
71 ZR1.
71. What makes this so rare? I'm told by car experts, this is possibly the only one of these in existence. It's a one-off, is that correct?
It appears to be the only 71. They made 8 of the ZR1 options, which is chassis, transmission, driveline, heavy-duty racing components, and they made 1 Roadster.
This is the only Roadster.
71, this is it.
If you want a 71 Roadster, this is the only one, not just the only one in existence, it's the only one ever built. And Rick, this has such an interesting story. You originally sold this car when it was brand new.
I sold it brand new to a friend of mine. And then I bought it back from him like 4 years later. Then I had it for a couple of years and sold it and bought it back and sold it and bought it back. Lost track of it for about 40 years.
Wow.
And then bought it back from a gentleman in Seattle, Washington. We have all the documents, starting with the sales order from my father's dealership with my name on it as the salesperson. That's page 1.
Wow.
All the way through until today.
Wow.
So it's pretty heavily documented, including letters from Chevrolet Motor Division, from Joe Pike.
You know, Rick, I mean, that's just so phenomenal because
crazy
we're pushing all the time provenance. This car has the provenance from the day Rick sold it originally all the way through today.
Yeah, I mean, when I had the car originally, I was just starting to do some IMSA racing, and I was partnering up with John Greenwood, and he was running a version of this car as an A production car and the BF Goodrich car, and I did my best to ruin the car. This was the only car I ever painted in my life. I personally ground off the original color.
Wow.
We ruined it by today's standard, but we didn't know it was to be a collector car. And then the Chevrolet dealer on the East Coast who had it for 25 years made it as beautiful as it is today, back to stock.
It is. It's in a Ferrari showroom for a reason, folks. Yeah, so again, July 19th, you don't want to miss this auction. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, thanks to Mr. Mancuso. We're standing in front of 3 vehicles that you own. We're putting in the auction. What are we looking at here?
It's a 57 fuel-injected Corvette. This is one that ran in the Monterey Historics, placed well in the Monterey Historics, won the concours, is street legal, and has run the Colorado Grand. And we have all the documentation. It's been a race car since 1959.
Wow.
2 years as a street car. We even have some of the original Halibran wheels, which is real rare. So it's an unusual, highly documented Corvette.
Wow.
And I've spent a little time just kind of cleaning this one. My problem is I restore them and I keep them so nice, because that's how I want our cars to look. But sometimes they make them so nice, I don't want to race them again because they're perfect. I'm trying to get them perfect all the time. And I've really overdone it with this one, and I've really overdone it with this one. And
well, you know, okay. So
my own fault.
We've got the 57.
Yes.
And right next to it, is what?
1989 SCCA GT1 National Champion, 1 of 1. This has an unusual design. Underneath the hood, there's a magnesium mounting plate. Underneath the window, the motor bolts to that plate. There's another magnesium plate on the front of the engine. The suspension hangs off there for the wheels. So the front end of this car is like the back end of an Indianapolis car.
Wow.
Everybody thought when it raced that the car would split in half when it went through hills. It won the national championship. It had a great driver. It was originally in yellow, called the Harrison Lumber Car out of St. Louis. Morris Clements was the driver from this area. Terrific guy. Ran it in some Trans Am. Ran it in the runoffs and won. Beat everybody. And then I bought the car like 2 weeks later, and I went to SCCA and said, I'm going to race the car. But I'm worried if I crash it, I want to build a backup car. So is that all right to do that? And they said, no. We don't want any more of these around. It's too radical a design.
Wow.
This is it. This one's grandfathered legal. That's it.
Wow.
I had Newman Haas go through this car, the IndyCar team in Lincolnshire, the winningest, best IndyCar team possibly of all time. They spent a month or 2 doing every nut and bolt and wire just to, and again, they made it so nice, I'm afraid to race it now. I don't want to deteriorate the car. I did the same thing with this car. Paul Gentilozzi from GTR Racing in Michigan went through the whole car. A buddy of mine owned it named Tom Murphy. And he was going to sell it at one point, and the family was going to sell it after Tom passed away. And Tom and I used to race together, and I said, either the family should buy that car, or I should buy that car. I'm not in the market for another race car. I'm not looking for one. But if you're not going to buy it, I will buy it. So I bought it and did the full restoration.
And this is a GT1?
GT1 Camaro, yeah.
GT1 Camaro. The opportunities here, folks, to possibly own one of these cars.
Top vintage racing cars.
If you want to race them, you still could.
Oh, yeah.
But what a fabulous gift to yourself or to another family member. But these cars all coming up July 19th. Now, this will be a live and online auction. Again, we're going to be at Mancuso at Rick's fabulous Ferrari dealership here in Lake Forest, Illinois. So this is a don't miss once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. In order to get tickets to get in, there's no cost. You just need to call us and let us know that you're coming, because it's not an auction that you can just show up for. We have limited seating at this auction. So let us know you want to come. My mind is just exploding with all this unbelievable great memorabilia. You know, you see sign auctions, you see memorabilia auctions all over. Rarely do you ever see any collection like this that is coming out of the original dealership. All this stuff has been saved up by Rick over the years. What a collection. I mean, I'm blown away. I really am.
My wife would call it hoarding. But for me, each item was so hard to get. Just look at a sign, for example. It's one thing to buy the sign, but we had to fight to become an Aston Martin dealer.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that has a whole set of stories with it. So the meaning is so deep for me. It's not something that you just take and discard. It becomes something that's very treasured. And these are very treasured things to me.
Well, and I'm so glad you just mentioned how you had to fight to become a dealer in these type of things. Well, folks, this isn't like going to a memorabilia auction and buying a Standard Oil sign or a Coca-Cola sign or something where there's thousands and thousands of them. On any week you can buy this. I mean, people like Ferrari and Aston Martin and these signs, these companies really protected their brand. So you can't buy quote unquote knockoffs and reproductions of this unless you find a dealership like yours.
This is all original. A civilian could never buy anything like this.
Exactly.
A civilian being someone who was not franchised or authorized or official by the manufacturer. This was never available.
Yeah.
So it's very unique, it's very authentic, and it's very important.
Well, and again, I just can't tell you how impressed I am with this collection, because not only is it rare, but the condition of everything. Items like the luggage and everything, luggage that was made specifically for these automobiles and everything. I mean, it's brand new or in absolute mint condition. Even the toolboxes and items that you have, Rick.
It's a labor of love.
It's just absolutely incredible. This is not an auction to be missed. This is a once in a lifetime. This is a one-off auction. I mean, with very rare, very hard to find, very scarce items. And it's all being offered here July 19th. And what can I say? It's the best, right?
It sure is in my perspective.
This is an auction that you do not want to miss. And to that point,
I'm Rick Mancuso.
And I'm Randy Donley, and we'll see you at the auction.